Welcome one and all to the College Deadlock Season 2 playoffs. We've had schools from around North America battle it out for over 6 weeks in the regular season play, and it's time to see which institution really is on top. I'm HDPhilly B, and with me tonight is the mastermind known as Mox, and we'll be walking you through the epic clash between Northwood Timberwolves and Seattle University Gaming. Mox, this is a best of 3 with the winner taking on Texas A&M University Maroon in round 2.
Yeah, it's perfect time to maybe take a look at the bracket and see where we are going through things. Obviously, Texas Aggies just talked about into round 2 being the CSU Rams. There is a loser's bracket in this tournament, so if you do lose in these early rounds, you do have another chance to make it through. But Northwood University looking to continue the pace that they've kind of set on. They are 5-0 through this current regular season, so kind of the kings of this group here, and you can see they earned their top seed there, and looking to stay strong through these early playoff rounds.
High tempo is their kind of MO, Mox, and so that's what I'm going to be looking for. A lot of early mid-game kind of compositions. We'll always have that security of maybe a Mirage, something like that, to kind of help them through the late game should it get there, but they just want to go full throttle through it all. Where on the flip side, Seattle, they kind of feel their way into these games. They're 3-1-1 on the season, so sometimes they just need a little extra punch in the face, cold water on the chest, whatever it is, to wake up as they get into the match.
It's a little bit tough sometimes when your season is only like 5 games total. Obviously, everybody's got things going on between school, spring break just passed recently. Like, there's so many different factors, and the regular season matches are best of 2, which means that you can draw these games, or you outright win, or you outright lose. So 3-1-1 is a very, very respectable score for them as well. So one of these teams they split a game with, and the rest of them they kind of had their way with outside of one loss. So pretty strong showing from the Seattle team as well. So I think we're going to get some pretty interesting deadlocks. I'm really excited to see what these teams bring.
Without a doubt, and without further ado, let's take a look at our players for the evening. These rosters are one to behold. Crims, the captain for Northwood University. They're that support player, and I love a captain who's a support player because they really want to facilitate, call the shots throughout the match, that sort of thing. So my eye will be on Crims throughout this series. And on the flip side, Seattle University, they have Perp, who is the captain. He plays the Mirage, the Venator, the Lady Geist. That's another kind of person you want as your captain, is the carry, right? They got to feed me, get me into the game, let me win it for you.
Absolutely. It's very easy to, maybe it is and maybe it isn't, depending on your perspective, but sometimes it is a little bit easier because as your carry position, your job is very, very straightforward. And so the amount of tasks you have to manage in order to kind of lead your squad is very narrow in a good way, where you have a lot of opportunity to kind of dictate while you just sort of like manage these small things like keep your waves out, maximize your jungle farm, hit your box routes like as efficiently as possible, grab the sinners off of spawn and things like that. And then once you hit that 18 to 20 minute mark, that's when you really start to come and flex hopefully your soul difference on the enemy team, and sort of stat check as we like to say sometimes. But yeah, really 2 different approaches to kind of leading the teams, neither of which is wrong by any shot. So we'll see who's kind of got the better of it from their position.
I would like to see, as we work our way into the draft, Mirage is going to be a priority for a number of reasons. And it's mainly just, he's strong, but also Perp, the captain for Seattle, loves this character, plays him normally in the mid lane, but we won't see that at least for game 1, as the Genie Courier is already taken off the board. And then Celeste Mox, we know that this character, the movement is just way too good, especially at the level these guys are at.
Definitely. Right now, the way that the meta is there's so many really, really good characters, and it's actually such an interesting dynamic where in a lot of games you might see that there's only a couple of unusually strong, and then there's a bunch that are kind of middling. In this game, there's a lot of really, really strong, but there's just a couple that stand out even beyond that pack, and I think that's what we saw in the bans. You might consider Venator part of that group, but so far it's gone through Northwood opting for Silver, which is a tremendous frontliner and a lot of good utility control. We're seeing this be a lot more common in terms of hero picks in general, amount of utility. And you can see that reflected in Seattle's picks as well, between the Kelvin, who always brings a ton of really good team fight AoE control, and Billy, who does almost exactly the same thing with a lot of damage.
The thing with the silver, at least for me, is I'm been studying these teams, how they want to operate. Northwood don't always play the silver. They're taking it away from Wyatt on the side of Seattle University, who kind of exclusively plays this character. He's the silver, he's the GT, he's the Celeste, right? And so they're just eliminating that hero pool and getting it for themselves. And as you mentioned, Mox, silver, just an all-around good character, good in early mid, great ultimate, has a lot of these soft CCs, scales well into the game, just incredible all around. On the flip side, though, Seattle picking up the Billy, that is their vice captain. That's Bleep. Loves this character, plays it 9 times out of 10. They have to secure it for him just to make him feel comfortable, especially as it is the playoffs. We're seeing a few more picks roll through.
I think if you look at what is most commonly the power picks right now in Deadlock, you can kind of see why Northwood may be 5-0. Because if you just look at the top 3 straight away, like giving up Venator and Geist in the same draft, I will say it's very greedy. It's extremely greedy, but maybe that's what works for their team. Silver does really, really well with just enough farm, but there's so much money needs to be allocated to the Venator Geist. That could shoot them in their own proverbial foot, but those are incredibly strong heroes. Seattle opting for the Kelvin and Billy to kind of start. Billy makes more sense. Kelvin you sometimes see later in the draft, maybe even go through bans. Apollo is one of those heroes that is creeping up in power as they've buffed a little bit of his kit, including the stun now, which is incredibly long if you actually put a lot of points into the riposte. So it's an interesting start, a top 3 for Seattle. And we see an Ivy and a Warden ban is kind of interesting. Ivy, very, very powerful, but Warden, I feel like this hero's kind of been creeping back. People almost remembering how strong his gun can be.
Well, Mox, what I was about to say is they've limited the carry pool. Venator, Geist, Barrage, Warden. I mean, who's left? Well, I guess you're going with the Wraith. I was going to ask you, who do you think it would be? It will be the card-slinging gambler who will be making their way into the battlefield. And Mox, I need to know your thoughts on that because she's really, needs that late-game scalability.
She needs it in a way that the Venator and the Geist don't necessarily need to. If you want to get really, really technical, the Venator Geist kind of can be online at the 25 to 32,000 soul mark. With Wraith, she can be strong, but she needs a lot of help at those souls. When she hits 35 plus, this hero becomes unstoppable. It's about getting to that point. And maybe the Apollo and Kelvin can play into that and buying a lot of time. The problem is Northwood have really, really good picks and a Sinclair, which we'll start to see more and more as players start to pick up this hero more commonly, but especially when you see heroes like Kelvin, heroes like Dynamo, big AoE teamfight ultimates, things like that, this hero can really, really excel. And if you have someone that's a specialist at using the Vexing Bolts, it becomes even more powerful.
And they need some spirit on here, right? The first 3 picks, a lot of gun damage. Yeah, they trickle in some spirit here and there, but they really need these spirit nukers, and Yamato, good at dishing it out. The Vexing Bolts here from the Sinclair doing the same. So I really like this pickup, just thinking about the different lane partnerships they got going on. But uh-oh, Mox, I'm seeing the Drifter, my least favorite, most hated character. GG's, bro.
Drifter's good. I don't know, Drifter's good. Like they did an incredible thing by reworking the way that his rend works and making it more of a spirit nuke damage, and they also put a silence on it. He can actually be really, really oppressive at his most powerful point in the game when he's hunting around and looking for kills like 13 to like 19 minutes through. The Bebop last pick, I'm not in love with, the same way that you're not in love with the Drifter. This hero is extremely underwhelming, and take that from a guy that plays in Eternus lobbies, and I've got like 700 Bebop games. Like there's just nothing, almost nothing redeemable about Bebop in the current state of the game.
I mean, you always need an initiator, right? Whether it's a Holiday, a Paradox, a Bebop, a Moan Krill, whatever, there's a bunch of different ways to do. I love Moan Krill, so go ahead.
I will interject. I'll let you continue. I will interject one. Hold up a minute. Initiators are not initiators, pick heroes. Pick heroes are slowly dying.
They are.
If you look at the top end of Deadlock, they've kind of gone to the wayside. Holiday is just not strong enough to get beat. Bebop is just a walking wall of a hitbox. The most competitive one is Paradox, and she's almost being ignored in top play for the most part. So those kind of tides about the meta of Deadlock are really changing rapidly.
And I think that's also because of the itemization. How many silence waves, dispel magics, and things like that. We're also seeing double heal comps where the viscous cube, and then you get the dome in there, save people, right? There's so many ways to counter some of these pick initiator kind of characters. I maybe actually would have liked to see a Abrams instead of that Bebop. Some more frontline ability, helps you with your early game, some shoulder charge, some stun action going on there. But it will not be the case. We'll round this out with the Page. So we have, two characters that can kind of help out. This Yamato's got to go in the mid lane, right?
Yeah, very likely. I think Northwood is really blessed for opportunity in that mid lane. They have so many really, really strong pokers. It looks like they're opting for the Venator Silver, which I wouldn't have bought on the Silver heading in that direction, but they feel good about what their potential matchup might be. It looks like it's going to be a Wraith Bebop, so I would very, very highly the Venator and Silver in that lane, especially considering how weak the Wraith can be very, very early, but they like that matchup, so they're going with it.
And this is, I think, Northwood adapting to Seattle University because they put their carry in that mid lane. And so, okay, let's put our carry there and see if we can just diff him, and so they can't get the souls that they're looking for. So it could just be a slight adaptation on their part. So love to see it. Mox, I didn't get to say my line, man. My line that I wanted to say as we were going is April showers do, in fact, bring playoff hours. And we are here for game number 1 between Northwood University and Seattle University Esports. I'm liking the lane setup, but I want to talk about lane 1. This is the Drifter and a Billy, not a matchup we see often.
It's a strange one, and they're fighting into really obnoxious poke. This is the Yamato they were expecting to go mid lane. The punching power between the power slash and the vexing bolts. We'll have to keep an eye on where the Sinclair starts to allocate their ability points, but this is just insane pressure. I'm not really sure what the Drifter Billy do. Billy's really, really weak in early lanes too, and it's kind of reflecting in how Gaber has almost no HP left in this lane here.
I mean, you should pair him with the Calvin. You've got a Calvin, right? Calvin Billy, that could be kind of strong. Frost grenades heal you up, right? Or usually you put the Apollo on this side to add that extra poke and that dash ability, the escape and things. I don't know. Confusion a little bit, but maybe just enough to throw Northwood off. But they are one of the best in the college Deadlock scene, so they're not even flinching at the sight of these lane compositions. Let's talk about this lane 3 here as we have our observers on it now. I mean, who do you expect to win this out as we're seeing the flawless advance expended and bodyguard action here from Vinjin?
I mean, I was about to take the easy out and say that obviously Northwood are gonna own this lane, as they might have almost secured first blood against Bradley. It actually goes the opposite side of the map on that Yamato Sinclair lane that we were watching, but they are getting bullied just across the map right now. You can see low HP just got around. Tower diving happening at minute 2 is a very bad sign. I will say Northwood definitely have the better laning heroes, and maybe that's a reason why they're coming out so dominant in the early, through the regular season.
And this is kind of indicative of what we see of late dice lanes. You pair with somebody that can heal you, right? You have a Rem, a Calvin, a Paige can do the plot armor, right? She's got some ways to keep you in the fight. And speaking of fighting, the Barry expended by Gabber, still talking here in the lane, but now it's the Sinclair with the opening rounds of all things, looking to open the fight off. The Billy chasing him down, some machine gun pellets to the back, but he will back himself off. He wants no more of that.
That was a really good trade from Gaber as he came out. It obviously wound up being first blood, but came back into lane and really put a lot of pressure to kind of create some space. It is not going to save Wyatt, however. Blur will get another kill in that lane. This mid is getting absolutely punished. This is that massive hitbox I talked about. Bebop just sort of eating damage. Benner doing a bit of the same, though, as he was under tower. Wraith wants his 70 HP, just needs a couple more to connect. A really, really crazy job of dodging around right now as Benos on this Venator. He seems almost certainly going down here. The gut shots make a little bit of space. Oh, is he sneaking out? Where the hell is he?
No way.
Oh my goodness, this little do-si-do, the heavy melee to get around the corner, and Wraith is actually going to back out of the situation little too scared of the potential turnaround.
What? The ankle's broken in the mid lane. Who is that? Bennis. He is unbelievable. He was dead to rights for sure. No way he should have escaped that. And Mox, we're finally now able to analyze the last lane. It's this mid lane here. Bridge control so important. I mean, which teams can vie for it most?
I mean, Bebop presents an interesting situation, especially if they get some more souls online, because lately here it becomes a real threat. Oh my goodness, a turnaround. Wyatt actually thought he had a really good trade here. Does go down. Blur with a 4-kill streak. He was just talking about Bebop's ultimate, and it turned out to be Yamato's make a real difference on this side of the map.
They thought that was going to be enough.
Well, speaking of ultimates, the side of Northwood University creeping ever so closely to all of theirs, where it's really only Perp, the captain for Seattle, who's reached that ultimate mark. But we've reached the bridge buff opportunity now, and it's all going the way of Northwood. They have their clean pickings for whatever they want. We will have a pause for a quick tech issue as Blur maybe has faded into existence.
Faded but not forgotten. Look at the scoreline. 4-0 and 0. That's nearly a kill per minute in the early goings of this first round for our Collegiate Deadlock playoffs best of 3. And you can see Northwood with tremendous map control, had players set up on the buffs very, very well ahead of time. So they even had enough opportunity to kind of select who gets which buffs as we're kind of getting back into the go of things here. Just a handful more of minutes before the first urn spawns, and it looks like Seattle might have to do some real consideration on getting positioning on that as it comes to, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now things sort of settling in just a little bit.
But Mox, how can they get there? They need priority in these lanes, and right now they're behind in souls, which means their clear is not as good. So how can they then feel comfortable rotating? And with their Guardians already taking some damage and their HP bars taking damage too, this is the Yamato flying like a blue blur to the Drifter. There's nothing he can do to defend. He has to call the Billy in for aid, and the Magician will say, now you see me, now you don't.
Actually not trading that inefficiently, and oh my goodness, a complete caster curse. I thought they were going to do okay. I was trying to sit here and praise them, and then all of a sudden, my goodness, another couple of kills. One goes the way of Malachite this time, so finally cashing in, but man, I really cursed Seattle here. A bunch of kills, first Guardian go down. I was going to praise them for having decent Guardian HP despite everything, and now every yellow wave is crashing in as the Hidden King kind of rejoices these early Northwood victories.
Yeah, they're trying to make their pilgrimage as fast as possible here at Northwood University. Maybe they're on spring break. I work for University Mox. I don't know if you know, and our spring break started today, so I'm sure there's some celebration on the Northwood side as well as the dive comes in from the Lycan. And the Lycan's curse now expended. The Guardian just zapping them. Oh, and there it is. The bomb blows them to smithereens.
Really, really nice outplay from Rupert here in a crucial moment where if D1 kind of gets a kill in that like 2v1 underneath Guardian, you're feeling really, really bad, but it's had some nice maneuverabilities, decent couple of outplays, and some help from the Guardian damage, and they get a kill, but not so much in favor for Wyatt. Gets parried underneath their own Guardian. 7 killing streak for this Blur Yamato, which is absolutely going crazy.
Double the souls of Wyatt, their opposite number, and the thing with the Drifter, Mox, is you have to be able to snowball. You need to be kind of ahead of the rest of the field to get these isolated picks and get your stacks and so on and so forth. Well, you're desperately behind, and the writing for me is a little on the wall because I just don't like the character. I think he's got to be done, but a nice, captivating read will lock ERP down, send him 6 feet under, and this Guardian will soon be to follow.
Unbelievable timing from the Crims there. Like Wraith feels strong because she can teleport out of the situation, and Perp just gets caught mid-animation and locked in place. So really tough situation. As I believe we get a little bit of a push here. There would be an incredible target to kill. There's no shadow transformation. Look, 10k souls on that hero. It's gonna be real tough and Crims is also here on the rotation. Or excuse me, that was Malachite's Guardian Ward. I thought the page had rotated over, but they're actually owning the other side of the map as Icy is on a killing streak as well.
Use the soul exchange to perfection, but no time to talk about that as the Lycan is under the scrutiny of the other team, and Wyatt finally makes me eat my words, gets 1 kill. But I think we were like, what, 1 in 5 at this point, so still some work to do.
Definitely a huge uphill climb, but that urn that we talked about is going, very likely, is going to be a comeback on the first drop. So we'll see if it gets to that point, and we'll see if Northwood has the kind of wherewithal to grab it before Seattle can even have a chance to kind of think about it. They do have total lane control across the map, so I do want to see them start to put their foot down a little bit. As the Sinners have now spawned, it's a good time for them to kind of push their waves up and kind of get into the enemy jungle. So we'll see how aggressive they are with their lead, but they might just opt to kind of keep things status quo and make sure that their jungle is clear first.
And I think there was enough push in the lanes that there's no invades coming through from Northwood, even with the lead that they have. So some of their Sinners have been secured. I just saw Wyatt scoop up a couple. There's Perp getting 1 too. But now this is opportunity for Northwood. They gather their jungle safely, and they can then rebut the lanes, push them forward, and then maybe take an advantage when the urn rolls around in 60 or 30 seconds. So a lot of things to be careful for, but the silence wave already here before the 10-minute mark, Mox.
Yeah, this is really, really intelligent adaptation. It's not exactly the word, but it's kind of it shows that Blur's playing a lot of close attention to kind of where the meta is right now, and Silence Wave's kind of, it hasn't been buffed. It got reworked and it's been strong for a bit. It's just people are similar to the Warden thing. They're like remembering how good this item is towards securing kills, and you can see Blur puts it right to use. Gamer still struggling this match. Telekinesis will come out, but the counter engage from Northwood University do so much damage right now. They might be outnumbered though. Blur does not care anything about that. Starts getting kills rolling their way. The Lycan Curse transformation comes through, and they are just chewing through the side of Seattle. Bite to finish off these kills, and oh my goodness, Bennis with a killing spree now as well. There is that comeback that I talked about, but he's going to take it away.
Chomp, chomp, chomp goes the Lycan Curse. Like, unstoppable is D1. And the silence wave, I think what made people remember is that Celeste is such a nuisance. They're like, oh, wait a second. There are things to make people stop moving in the game, and the silence wave is one of them. For now, though, this Crims on the page going for a pretty heavy vitality and gun investment early on. Mox, what do you make of that?
Just good itemization, really. It's a true kind of commitment to being that support role. As Bennis kind of taking a 2v1 here, but pretty good items. I think Healing Nova is extremely strong right now. We can see the priority of getting that early on top of the Guardian Ward as well. Rugert, goodness, all of my words wrong here. What's happening to me?
It's not Rugert? Well, we'll see. He's about to be under the rug, or have it pulled out from under it. The flawless advance, the disengaging sigil does not save Bradley from the blur. Once again, this Yamato all over the map. It is the Walker now in the crosshairs of Northwood.
Yeah, there's a little bit of interest on this Yamato itemization too. The Silence Wave and the Cold Front are pretty interesting in conjunction with each other, but it was more like the weapon items that were on top. They have Stalker Mystic Shots. Mystic Shot's good, you just get some more burst onto those right clicks, but the Stalker, I really have not seen a lot of Yamato Stalker. Maybe I'm just like missing the mark on that one, but it's an interesting pick that seems to be working very well.
I mean, that's the beauty of a MOBA, right? There's an umpteenth number of different iterations. We think we might know what's best, but that's also part of the fun. You get to experiment, you get to just try out new things, and maybe you feel in yourself. You're like, I think I will be able to get behind him more often than not and just get the bleed and kill him, right? So they're having fun with it here, Northwood, as 3 members are smiling on kill streaks. They have a Walker already down, open up another flex slot for him, so feeling incredibly good in game number 1. So fantastic work for them thus far. They're grouping up here in the mid down now, Mox. It's going to be another battle of fireworks. The Captain Crims leading the charge. The frozen shelter now laid down just to keep everybody alive. The telekinesis to throw somebody away. The Lycan's Curse will stand tall between the frost, and it is the Blur in the backline who gets the carry, the #1 target. The Lycan's Curse now swiping through the battlefield. Oh my goodness, the Calvin, what can he do against the might of the Werewolf? T1 will get one. Will they go down for it? Absolutely not. The rest of the team is here in an easy cleanup for Northwood.
Oh, it's such a tough situation. Seattle really thought they had a good jump on that spot. They even committed the dome more offensively than defensively in that fight. But they're just like too far. Oh my god. I just looked up at the soul speed of them being too far behind. They're like 40k at 13 minutes is such a staggering difference in the souls. But like I said, they just didn't have enough damage. They're just so far behind at this point. It's just, even in that perfect situation, it's just so bad, as Northwood really collapsed well on that fight.
They're collapsing now. Here is Seattle with a desperate defense of their final walker already. Mox, they need to do something to clap back, but will they bite off more than they can chew? It is the P-Pop who's getting blown up. I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. It's Blur once again zooming across the battlefield, looking, hunting. Doesn't find anybody now. The Scrap Golem. Oh, the Silence Wave. What can he do? A quick punch to the face, a Power Slash as well. A bomb stuck to him, but the grapple will connect. And Blur nets himself another.
It's just incredibly good wherewithal. Kind of tracking him, essentially, almost as if he knew where he was the entire time. There was just no opportunity for Ruger to kind of sneak out of that situation. Maybe it was just his only escape route, and Blur was just a lot smarter on that potential escape opportunity. I'm not going to let that one go. 22,000 souls, man. That soul per minute is absolutely wild.
Bonkers. I mean, especially with, you know, the increased bounty on these Guardians, Walkers, etc. And so the fact that they've snatched them up so quickly just accelerates that lead. But maybe will the Lady Geist get caught out here? No, the team does come through with the chain gang. They rattle through New York. The captivating Retho stops him, and a swift punch puts the goat down. Icy, ice cold.
Aber, unfortunately, has been constantly parried almost the entire game, and every opportunity when he's trying to make a play, he's just getting parried. I mean, maybe you just say Northwood just that much better, but I think at a certain point you gotta stop taking like unrequited swings like that.
Yeah, there's a time where you can test your strength, and once you know that you don't stack up, you've got to play defensive. You got to turtle a little bit, but there's just, we talked about it in the pregame. All of the offensive prowess that Northwood brings, they just full throttle the entire match through, and Seattle just not prepared for it. They're going right now for the mid-boss. Northwood looking to close it out.
Yeah, you said earlier, writing on the wall. It's clearly shown to be that way. Like, this soul lead is completely unmanageable in its current state. It's going to take some kind of master throw from the side of Northwood, but they're itemizing very defensively. We saw a little bit of Venos's build on this Venator a little bit earlier. It's got like Counterspell and Warp Stone on Venator. Like, usually you see players go very offensive on this hero, stack a lot of weapon items, but they're doing quite the opposite. They're stacking items defensively, and Yamato has Counterspell, which is basically all she needs, because Shadow Transformation is the goal.
Well, an ultimate copy, and it looks like it will be the Frozen Shelter should they need it, but it looks like Wyatt will need another life because he's back to the gray screen once again. This Drifter just drifting along.
Yeah, it wasn't even the vexing bolts and glare that we were kind of thinking we might see. This is more just like full utility single player. You can see the itemization was essentially just superior duration and a little bit of other junk, but they don't even need it, obviously. They just need people to empower these heroes like the Yamato and the Venator that are insanely strong right now, and a little bit of a bait being set up right now. We'll see if anything catches. The bunny goes astray. Hook as well, but Blur's going to decide that it's go time anyways.
Oh, they know they have the lead. They have the rejuves, and now they have Bijin in the grayscale. Everybody now scuttling around the battlefield, and the goat will be turned into lamb chop. The Drifter now the next one in the crosshair. He is just being sliced and diced. The Yamato will go down, maybe? No, still stays alive. That is insane work. Okay, the rejuve now expended, but I mean, you get 4 for it. You'll take that trade any day of the week.
They still have 2 rejuves. First shrine goes down, second one will follow. This will certainly be dropping. I wouldn't be surprised if they opt for the finish. That being said, Bennett's taking a lot of damage on this Venator. If they lose other rejuves early, it could spell them backing out of the situation, but as of right now, they're still hanging tough and fighting deep inside the pit. There's another drift roll. I think that's like the second one that we've seen in this base fight already, but hook does not connect. That's going to be a stolen laser beam, so a lot of space is going to be created, and nobody from Northwood is dying yet. What's happening? There's no damage.
Mox, that was a snipe. I know Icy got the kill, but a lot of the hyper beam damage is what gets it. This guy is on a tear now. It is the Arch Mother feeling the brunt of the damage, the might of Northwood now in the weakened state. Again, the Arch Mother hold on. Can Seattle hold on? It doesn't look like it as Perp, the captain, goes off the ship, and there we have it, a bunch of damage laid into the core, and it looks like the writing is in fact on the wall. Northwood University will take game 1.
Just a couple of little formalities to clean up here on the back side. Venator will provide the blessed judgment of the stake. My goodness. He's got gun items, but he's still throwing hands like nobody's business. There's going to be a little bit to reconcile in the post-game of this one, but unbelievably strong performance, Northwood. I can't really tell you the last time I saw a 19-minute game, I'm going to be honest, and that's not... I'm gotta try to put this in a way that it's not too what's the word I'm looking for, brutal, because that game was.
Yeah, I think Northwood, they want to get to spring break as fast as they can, and we know that you all want to get there too, but there's a match to break down. Let's see who the MVP was. I mean, there's a lot of people to choose from, but as the curtain is unveiled, it will be Blur on the Yamato.
I think that's an obvious selection by Yoshi and the Deadlock team, as they are obviously watching this live and picking in real time. I think you could probably put the entirety of Northwood University on this one, but Perp will catch a little bit of love, doing a bunch of objective damage that game, but not even close to like half of what Icy did on the Geist. So it's definitely a little consolation pat on the back, but my goodness, look at the kills. What are there? Six kills total from Seattle, and I think the counting is pretty easy when you can see that Blurt got 21 and Benos got 15.
Holy smokes. Yeah, just full throttle. But Crims, 29 assists and the 19k healing. I mean, I'm a support player. You know this, Mox, so I always love to see the supports really do their thing. And this is just a great example of that. So fantastic work from all of Northwood, but they still have one more game to go to close this one out and move on to round 2. That would knock Seattle potentially to the lower bottom, depending how this next round stacks up. Now, Mox, while you were going over the scoreboard, I did look at the academic calendar for Northwood University. Their spring break was actually at the beginning of March. It was March 9th to the 13th, so they're deep into their semester right now.
I didn't want to interject because you seem so excited about spring break being now, but down here in Florida, I've already seen the spring breakers come and go earlier in the month, so I've seen them go. Obviously, it's dependent on the schools, but they've had their break, and maybe that's why they're rested and ready for this playoff push.
Makes sense. I'm just in the spring break mindset, right? I'm started mine today at Wilmington University, so all right, feeling good. But folks, speaking of breaks, we got to send you to one. We'll see you on the other side.